What's up, everyone? My name is Jimmy with Swiss Realty here out in Columbus, Ohio. I'm an investor agent, and I wanted to, make this YouTube video because this is a question I get very frequently, and I wanted to address it. Okay, so the question we have today is it worth it to buy a house that only makes $100 a month? Obviously, after PITI and reserves, that's what I'm talking about. So if you're only making $100 net cash flow after everything, is it worth it to buy it in this case? That's a question I get a lot of times from my clients. The reason why they ask this is because they're like, hey, if I'm only making $100 a month, for example, if let's say the furnace goes out or the AC unit goes out, that's pretty much the entire year's worth of income. So why would I ever buy a house that only makes me $100 a month? It's chump change. It doesn't make sense. And in this video, I wanted to go over why I think you should buy it, and this is why what I tell a lot of my investor clients as well too. So definitely we'll go over some reasons, and definitely make sure to comment if you have any questions or anything at all. First reason why is because rents will increase every year. So even if that house right now that you're looking at is only making $100 net cash flow a month, you have to understand that next year, you know, you're going to raise the rents, and you're going to do that. And as a landlord, you should be doing that every year. You should be at least raising your rents by at least 5% to match inflation. You should be doing that every year. You should never just have it be a constant rent. The reason why is because, again, inflation happens. So because of that, you want to be raising your rents at least 5% to match inflation in this situation. So let's say right now in this example that we raise rent. So year one, it's going to be $100 a month, net cash flow, of course. Year two, it's going to be $150 a month. And then year three, let's see, it's going to be $225 net cash flow a month. So that's the thing, though. What I'm trying to get at is your returns only get better year after year. And on top of that, your mortgage stays the same. So because of that, your rents, your returns, they only will get better every year. And if you give it 10 years worth of rental increases, you're easily going to be at $700 a month. Is it going to take some time? Of course, but you have to understand real estate, and this is what I tell a lot of my clients, it's a marathon. It is not a sprint. So you have to understand that, yes, it's only making $100 a month right now, but in 10 years, it will make $700, $800 a month, over $1,000 a month. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So that's the first reason. Second reason is, and this is what I tell a lot of my clients, is first buy the property and then wait for interest rates to drop. So this is what I tell a lot of my clients is like, hey, instead of looking at interest rates from, hey, it needs to be at 3% for me to buy, or hey, it's at 10%, it's way too high. If the deal makes sense and if the property makes sense, you should buy it regardless of what the interest rates are. And the reason why is right now interest rates are at like high sixes, still sevens. And even if you buy a property right now and it's making $100 a month and you bought it at 7% interest rates, wait until interest rates go down and then you refinance. So let's say, let me write this down. So let's say you bought it at 7% interest rates and you're making $100 a month net cash flow. Okay. Let's say, hypothetically, interest rates do drop to 5%. Okay. Interest rates. And then you refinance, just do a term rate refinance in this case. You would turn instantly your $100 net cash flow a month into instantly something like $500 a month. So that's the thing. You should never try to time the markets and try to time interest rates. Buy a property and just hold on to it. And once interest rates go down, then refinance. There's a really good saying. It's like, hey, never try to time the market. Time in the market is way more important. And that's what I preach to my clients all day, every day. And it holds very true in this reason as well, too. So with these first two reasons, you have to understand your returns will only get better over time. Number one, rate increases. So every year you're increasing your rents by at least 5%. And reason number two, once interest rates go down, then refinance, and you're only going to be cash flowing even more. On top of that, once interest rates go up, it's not like you're going to you have to refinance to that higher interest rate. When interest rates go down, then you refinance. And again, it's only going to be a cash cow afterwards. All right. So then my third reason is when it comes to real estate, and this is what a lot of investors get mistaken, they think that they only make money from the cash flow. That is absolutely not the case, and I cannot preach that enough in the sense that it is not just cash flow. Cash flow is literally such a small portion of real estate investing. And what I mean by that is number one, yes, you get some cash flow, but also you get amazing appreciation. And on top of that, you get principal pay down and you get depreciation. So with cash flow, it's just one small piece of the pie. And this is what my real estate mentor tells me all the time is you're not going to get rich from cash flow. You get, if anything, you get rich from the appreciation. A fun fact actually is that during Austin, Texas, during the years 2020 to 2022, real estate went up by over 60% in 2 years, which is unheard of. It's absolutely, bonkers. And with that appreciation alone, 60% in 2 years, you can only get that from appreciation. You don't get that from cash flow. So again, appreciation, that's a huge part of the pie. And on top of that, you get principal pay down. So with principal pay down, because you're making monthly mortgage payments, it's slowly, paying off your principal. And because of that, you're building equity over time. And the very last thing is depreciation. So what that means is you get to write off a bunch of taxes. Obviously, it's divided by 27 and a half years when it comes to taxes. But again, you get to write off, taxes uh, for this property for the next 27 and a half years. And if you, build up a rental portfolio of enough properties, you're going to be able to write off a ton in taxes every year. And because of that, you're going to save a lot of money. So again, it's not just cash flow. You get appreciation, you get principal pay down, you get depreciation. When you add in these returns, there's literally no investment vehicle here in the world that gets you these similar type of returns, not the SP 500. And on top of that, you got to remember too, when you do a cash out refinance, it is tax-free gains. You do not get taxed when you do a refinance on your house. So because of that, you know, it's another tax advantage as well too. So again, there's so many loopholes and tax benefits when it comes to real estate. That's something I could talk for hours, on. All right, so the last point I want to make is this is what I tell all my clients too. Is it is a marathon, it is not a sprint. So this is the blueprint when it comes to building financial freedom, okay? It's it's not you don't have to be a multimillionaire to get rich and build financial freedom when it comes to real estate, okay? What I tell all my clients is whatever you can afford. Maybe it's one rental a year, maybe it's two rentals a year, maybe it's three, maybe it's five rentals a year. Whatever you can afford, you want to use that to buy real estate essentially. Because buying real estate, it's like building a golden nest egg, okay? So let's say you have property number one and it's making you $100 net cash flow in year one, okay? Like what we discussed. Let's write this out. Year one, okay. Property A. And then you got property, and then let's say you got here two properties C, $100 a month in year two. So let's say you as a investor, you buy one property in year one, and then you buy another two properties in year two, and you slowly rack up these little base hits every year, you will become financially free. Because again, each of these properties, their returns are only going to get better every year, like what I mentioned earlier. And that $100 a month in year one, it's gonna in year 10 turn to $1,000 a month without a doubt. It's only a matter of time. Same with each of these properties as well too. So what I tell a lot of my clients is, hey, whatever you can afford, maybe it's one property a year, maybe it's two properties a year, but whatever you can afford, you want to slowly stack up these base hits, and over time, that golden nest egg is going to get bigger and bigger over time. And once it gets to a certain point where it gets big enough, it's going to be able to replace your active income. But the thing is, you have to buy real estate. You have to buy real estate if it's making $100 a month, $50 a month. You have to buy real estate, and you have to be consistent. You cannot be one of those people where you buy one time and then you never touch real estate again. If you do it consistently over long enough of a time span, over 10 years, you will become financially free. And that is a bulletproof method that I tell a lot of my clients. But the thing is, a lot of people, they don't stick with it. They kind of give up halfway. You cannot give up. You have to buy real estate and you have to be consistent. That's the most important thing. Aside from that, that was pretty much my video right there. Thank you so much for taking time to go through the video with me. Let me know if you have any questions or any comments. I would love to address them over in the comment section. Aside from that, thank you so much for taking time. My name is Jimmy. I'm with Swiss Realty here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm an investor agent. I help investors buy the next burr, flip, buy and hold, or even short-term or mid-term rentals here in Columbus, Ohio. So again, if you are looking for an investor agent, I would love to help you. I've done over $17 million in terms of real estate sales in the last 16 months. So again, not my first rodeo. Investment properties, that's my bread and butter. So again, any questions, if you love to work with me, sign up in my link below in this video. Thank you so much, guys. Definitely keep me posted if you have any questions. And until next time.